how to learn Japanese in 3 easy steps. Number 1, the hiragana, the katakana, and the kanji. Now, here's the thing. When you learn Japanese, the most important thing you're going to memorize is the basic alphabet of the Japanese language. If you know English, it's already a head start, because the majority of the pronunciation is all one way, and it's the same thing in Japanese, but you just got to change things around a little bit, but it's pretty much the same exact thing. So let me give you an example. So in English, there's multiple different ways to write things. In Japanese, there's just one way. So it's pretty easy. But in exchange, it's a little bit longer though. But it's really easy nonetheless. Number 2, words. Okay. So with words, it's pretty self-explanatory. The thing is, and you need to know this, but some of the words can be just spelt with one kanji. Some of them can be spelt with multiple. Think of it like this. As far as I'm aware, when learning Japanese, if you really want to say things are confusing, there's multiple ways of writing some words. But as long as it's still the same thing. So, for example, if you see a kanji, it could just represent that one word. But the question is, what is that kanji? And kanji is probably the one part that takes a little bit of time getting used to. But at the same time, though, you could run into some other problems with what comes first, what comes last, as far as sentence structure. But that'd be part 3, sentence structure. You see, when you learn Japanese, even sentence structure can be very easy and hard. See, it's pretty self-explanatory because there's no real major gimmicks to it that you're going to have to really pay close attention to. It's pretty self-explanatory. But it can be a little bit confusing because it might not make you, to someone who's a noob, someone who's new to learning Japanese, you might think you're doing something wrong because, but Japanese is a language that, it can take certain things out and it can make like in English, there's what is known as an incomplete sentence, English teachers would always say that, you have to always have a complete sentence, but in Japanese, it's actually possible to have incomplete sentences, and by Japanese standards, it can actually be a complete sentence. So, for example, you could say the notebook is, what is the notebook doing? There is no, I guess you want to say, the verb is missing, but in some cases, when you have a sentence in Japanese, the verb always goes last. So most of the time, from my experience, the word order is subject, the name of what is the sentence about, who is in the sentence. The objective, what is the subject doing, and the verb, how is the subject accomplishing its objective, if that makes sense. So for example, Travis went to the store, obviously. The verb would be went, and then the objective is to the store, and the subject would be me, Travis. So, or in Japanese you would say, Travis to the store went. Or I've seen some people say, the store Travis went. Although, personally, it's usually subject, objective verb, but rarely is it objective, subject verb in Japanese. So, if you're trying to learn Japanese, it's really important to pay attention to what the word order is, but more or less important to pay attention to what you see. But either way, you're going to translate it anyways, because as long as you can translate the words correctly, you can pretty much reword it exactly the same thing, and it would still make sense.